So how do you guys bring in when you have? How much time do you have off from the show? Like, what's your production year like?
It's about 6 months from writing, shooting, and cutting. Maybe 7 months.
It's actually pretty fast.
That's great.
It is. Yeah. We like I said, we surrounded ourselves with a lot of really great, smart people in terms of our crew and our post-production team. A lot of people who've been with us since the very beginning or close to it. And, a lot of people just are really good at their jobs, and it makes us be able to do it much more efficiently. And the only reason we've been able to do it this long is because we cut the episode order back to 10 episodes a season, and we can do it in a way that allows us to have lives outside of the show. Otherwise, I think we would have gone nuts.
Do people constantly say things in front of you and go, "You could use that"? Like, do
Almost
they just assume?
every single day.
Absolutely.
Good, because I have an idea. Okay. I'm sure this is. It's just my liking to see universes collide.
I love it. By the way, I'm all for it. It doesn't mean we're going to do it. But
Okay.
I'm all for it.
So,
By the way, sometimes this happens, and we have the person write it, and then we go and make it.
Oh yeah,
I think it would be really amazing if you and Louis guested on each other's shows, but as different perspectives of the same experience, where you cross paths, and on your show, it's more your guys' perspective, and Louis kind of the guest. And then if you were to watch the Louis episode, he would be in the foreground, and you guys would be in the background, so that you would get this kind of like.
And
two
it takes place in Fargo.
You know what's interesting.
Amazing.
I think, I think you could absolutely do something like that. The place where my brain goes is because in my mind, Sunny weirdly takes place almost in like an alternate universe where the rules are very similar to what they are in the universe, the dimension we live in, but they're just ever so slightly askew. However, I will say that that's really only the case with our characters. Like when our characters go out into the world and we meet, we sit across the desk from a normal guy. He's looking at us like, what planet do these people live on? You know what I mean? Because so in your scenario, because Louis' show is so grounded and so real.
But it's sort of like that as well.
He goes into tangents. of heightened reality. Yeah,
You have heightened reality. It's all
right.
It's looking at the world through his perspective.
Right.
So sometimes in that.
You can do that.
His girlfriend, or a woman he's on a date with, gets on a helicopter in the middle of the day and flies off into the city.
Oh yeah,
the garbage men come into his apartment.
I just think the creative exercise of you both, he shares an experience with you guys, and then you both come away interpreting it in different ways, but it's still, it's still connected by,
Yeah, it's funny. You don't see that very often anymore, these crossover kind of things. And, certainly the request I get 100,000 times a day on Twitter is that they want us to do a crossover with Workaholics. Which makes a lot of sense in many ways. And I love those guys, and I think that show is really, really funny. And it's funny. I guess it's I mean, I don't know why we don't entertain it more. Maybe just the logistics of it seem a little bit daunting. Like, how are we going to... But I don't know. I mean...
It was just my way to pitch a mildly cringy idea, just to see.
I think it's a good idea.
No.
I think it's good.
Okay, this
Call
idea... You guys
call Louis and see if
you
he's
guys
into it.
cross over with the Property Brothers on HGTV, and they're going to help you find a home.
We've been talking about a crossover with Game of Thrones, which I think would be...
That'd be great.
How would that work?
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't.
But those guys wrote an episode of our show.
They did, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if anything, it would be, it would be like the kind of the Krypton idea where it would be Sunny.
Is Danny Tyrion?
No, they wrote an actual episode.
Oh, I thought you meant
Sunny.
there was a crossover where you guys played.
No. They wrote an episode of Sunny two seasons ago. Mm-hmm. That was that. So it kind of happened like this, where we were out to dinner, and they said, "Hey, we have an episode we want to pitch you." And they pitched it to me, and I was like, "Yeah, that sounds good." And they came in and wrote it, and then we didn't have to write that episode.
Right.
It was one less episode for us to write.
So was that strange to basically be saying someone else's?
No, because we had them. There was a little bit more of a process there. We had them come into the writers' room, and we would pitch things, and we would kind of walk them through how we break an episode, and then they did a draft, and then
we sunnified it with them a little bit. I mean,
cool.
They came in with a really great idea that really sounded, I mean, very much like an episode of the show, and which you'd be surprised at how often that's actually not the case. Somebody thinks they know what the show is, and they pitch us this thing. It's like that's so not anything.
Sort of like what Chris just did.
Exactly.
It wasn't that bad. It was pretty good.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
No, you don't have to. It's fine.
Hey, don't be so mean to him.
Hey, whose side are you on?
Hey,
I'm on no one's side. I'm on my side.
But they came in and we just boarded it out, and beated it out and kind of changed their break a little bit. Went through the beats, and then they went off and wrote a draft. We did some rewrites on it, but they gave us a pretty. I mean,
turns out they're talented.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, I get a lot more comments from the community of drama television writers than I do from, and I think it's the same. Like, I think for drama people, when they go home, you spend the entire days breaking dramatic stories, really heavy shit. When you go home, the last thing you want to do is then also sit down and watch Breaking Bad.
Right.
You want to go home and you want to watch Sunny, or you want to watch The Simpsons, or you want to watch Workaholic. You want to watch something that's just like light and So there's a lot of people in the drama world who are like bigger fans of our show than people in the comedy world, because it's not like when I go home, I don't want to watch comedy. I spend my whole fucking day working on comedy. I want to watch heavy.
In the last 5 years, the three shows that have reached out, like various members of three shows that have reached out to us to say they like the show or come to set or we become friends: Game of Thrones, Mad Men, and Breaking Bad.
Oh wow!
So it's like zero comedy people. And I think that people just don't. They're like us. We go home, and I would rather watch Mad Men than watch Parks and Rec. Not because I don't think Parks and Rec is a great show. It's just I'm doing that all day long.
Right?
Yeah, that's not taking a break from your work. In a way, I'm gonna watch a comedy.
You're going to be analyzing
criticize it, analyze it, and it's like I don't want to do that, And that's not that I don't watch any comedy. I do watch some, but not much. I mean, mostly I want to take a break from comedy and watch something else.